Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, and Barak the Yahushai. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that taught us His word. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth. We're pushing this truth in the spirit, in sincerity, and in truth. Yeah, the day is near. It is near, man. A lot of these nations or the international communities starting to pull away from the U.S. They're seeing it. So, I mean, it's happening, man. Eventually, they shall hate the whore, and they are going to burn with fire. So we're real close, to this thing. But I got a few articles, current events. A lot of all these, were dated around the same time, within one day, man. Yesterday, pretty much. January 7th, out of Russia Today. It's out of EU must stop treating U.S. as its main ally. It's a Borrelli guy. Borrell. The bloc's former top diplomat has pointed growing tensions, including spats over Europe's digital rules. The EU should stop considering the U.S. its main ally. The bloc's former top diplomat, Joseph Borrell, says, as Washington and Brussels are at loggerheads over digital policies and control over Greenland. In an interview with Spain's broadcaster last week, Borrell said he doesn't know what more Donald Trump needs to do for us to understand that the U.S. and Europe are not allies they once were. Yeah, so they're breaking away. The European Union, these nations, they're breaking away, man. The scriptures are coming to life. Prophecies. Borrell also commented on Trump's concern that Europe's nuclear powers, France and the UK, could one day have governments that are not friendly to Washington. That's coming closer than you think. Scripture say, they shall hate the whore, and they're going to burn her with fire. There are many people who don't want this or want to accept this reality because it is still assumed that the U.S. is the EU, European Union's main ally, but it no longer is, the ex-diplomat said. So yeah, this is one thing, and this other article out of SputnikGlobe.com. Venezuela to buy only U.S.-made products under new oil deal, Trump, dated 16 hours ago. So, well, surprisingly, after the capture of the president, Maduro, now all of a sudden they got these new oil deals popping up. So that was the whole reason they went in there. Maduro probably didn't want to do no deals. And Trump just took them out. He was like, oh, we're going to the hammer of the earth. Went up in there and took them out. And now we got that oil. U.S. President Donald Trump said Venezuela would only purchase American-made products as part of a deal with Washington to sell Latin American countries oil. I've just been informed that Venezuela is going to be purchasing only American-made products with the money they receive from our new oil deal. These purchases will include, among other things, American architectural products and American-made medicines, medical devices and equipment to improve Venezuela's electric grid. So yeah, that was all, it was all set up, man. The hammer of the earth got what they wanted, man. Get that money, get that oil, create these deals to buy U.S. products. Why? Because the economy is collapsing, really. And they need to get that, we're trying to, make America great again, as the slogan is. The last article, is also dated January 7th, 2026, out of Breitbart. It says China expected to replace Venezuelan oil with Iranian crude. So now China, since now Venezuela is in business with America, China's gonna dump their oil and deal with the Iranians now, man. So everyone is, you know, you pulling away from the U.S., man. We know Iran is in league with Russia. The scriptures say that Russia is going to be a guard unto Iran, the Persians, man. Pursuant to Ezekiel, man. This is 38 chapter. Says oil industry analysts expect China to replace its oil imports from Venezuela with increased purchases of Iranian crude following the arrest of China's ally, Nicolas Maduro, by U.S. forces over the weekend. So yeah, I mean, this isn't the first time, the U.S., disrupted some type of business with China. A while back, if you remember the Panama Canal, Trump took back the Panama Canal because they said the Panamanians, gave it over to the Chinese. And they were doing business with the Panama Canal. And so, the U.S. is really disrupting a lot of that Chinese business. President Donald Trump announced on Tuesday that Maduro's successor, interim President Delcy Rodriguez, and other Venezuelan officials have agreed to sell up to $2 billion in crude oil to the United States. The deal would divert oil coveted by China to U.S. refineries. So yeah, it's all coming to light, man. But that's, these international communities, these other nations are pulling away from the U.S. Eventually, the EU, NATO, and all their allies are going to hate America. They're going to burn her with fire. This is Zephaniah 1 and 14. Great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, and the mighty men shall cry there bitterly, man. Yeah, you tough guys out there, man. Y'all gonna be crying bitterly, man, in that day. It is a day, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a day of distress, a day of wasteness, desolation, a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. The day of the Lord. So what is it to you? The day of the Lord, man. But the day of the Lord is darkness and not light, man. Thick clouds, man. Thick darkness. When the missiles touch down, 200 million, it's going to create, mushroom clouds, man. Those hurricane force winds, that destroying wind. It's going to black out the sun. It's going to be gloomy, dark, the day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. So I'll let you know that this day, time of Jacob's trouble, and all this destruction is for you tribes, man. Because you're the only ones that can sin out here, man. The law, statutes, and commandments was given to Israel, man. Because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh is dung. So yeah, man, this is the upcoming time of trouble, and ultimately this destruction, man, is for you tribes, man. These other nations got 1,000 years, for the Lord to get back at these other nations. So neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land, man. So there's no reason for you to be, heaping up treasures on earth. You gotta build up that spiritual bank account, that spiritual treasure, man, the spiritual money. Just physical money, this currency, these dollars, the silver and gold is not gonna be able to deliver you, man. I don't care how much money you got. If you're able to build a bunker, you're gonna die in that bunker, man. As it says, but the whole land shall be devoured. 10th part of the city fell, as it is described in the scriptures, man. Shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. What's that? That nuclear destruction, where he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. 1 hour, man. It's only gonna take 1 hour for the Lord to destroy this place. The next scripture is Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. In thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. In thy security, man. You think your silver and your gold is your security? No. You know? You think that silver and gold is going to protect you? Nah, man. You think you said in thy security. As soon as they say peace and safety, that's when sun and destruction is going to come upon them. The point being, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, man. Make no tarrying, man. You know, gotta get out there, push this word, push this truth, man. Make that calling and election sure, because the Lord is returning, man. These prophecies are popping off the page, these pages, man. Last scripture, Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Yeah, you know, he knows he has a short time, man. He knows the Lord's coming, man. That's why he's trying to push that ship, man. He's trying to trip up the Israelites, man. He's trying to offset these prophecies. He's trying to push this new world order, you know, because he's coming down with great wrath upon you tribes, mainly for you tribes. We just read in Zephaniah, man. The Lord is controlling them. The Lord is controlling all these guys, man. All these kings. He sets up kings. He brings down kings because they have sinned against the Lord. And the blood should be poured out of the dung, man. So his wrath is for you tribes, man. He's going to come down on you having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time, man. So, yeah, you know, it's near and it hasteth greatly, man. You know, these international communities, you know, these nations are pulling away, you know, from the U.S. With that, you know, shalom.